My name is Bonnie Minkler Bullwinkel.
And I'm Mark Bullwinkel.
And where do you live now?
We live in Los Altos, California.
You told me a really interesting story about how you met.
We met on the airplane between Singapore and Madras on our way to the Bangalore program in 1970. 71, yes.
And when you came back, then what happened?
Well, actually,
Bonnie was a student at Raymond College here on campus, and I was a Callison student. Bonnie was a senior. I was a sophomore, and she joined the Bangalore year there in 71 at the later, kind of at the last minute, along with her sister, Katie, who was also a Callison student. And so, as it happened, Katie was sitting next to Bonnie on the plane, and the fellow sitting next to me on the plane was very interested in Katie, and went back and approached Katie and to see if, or Bonnie, to see if they'd switch places so that this fellow could sit next to Katie. Bonnie had a good book. She didn't mind switching places, and Bill sat next to Katie, and Bonnie sat next to me, and we're going to celebrate our 31st wedding anniversary next month.
but when we came back, Mark came back from India, but I actually went and lived in Thailand for 6 months. And he wrote to me for months trying to convince me to come back to the States. And I had graduated in 72. I came back to the States after 6 months, and Mark and I went on the Mexico program with Mickey Gibson in December, I think it was January of 73.
Right.
We came back in June, and we were married in July of 1973. So we also did the Mexico program as well. I audited, and Mark was a senior, or you were a junior that year.
So you were married before graduation?
Yeah,
Yes,
our last year, my senior year here, Bonnie worked at the School of Pharmacy, and I was the mailman for the Callison Lodge. And we lived in the little apartment here upstairs.
Here in the lodge.
And we got free room and board for me to put the mail out each day. It was a great deal. After graduation, I attended the School of Theology at Claremont, at the Claremont Graduate School, where I did a master's and a doctorate. And during that time, Bonnie and I spent a year fellowship in Kenya, in East Africa. And then upon graduation in 79 from that, Bonnie and I served for 3 years as United Methodist missionaries, 2 in country in Sarawak, Northern Borneo, where I was teaching. We came back in 1982 and have served United Methodist churches throughout Northern California and Nevada, and have continued to have some international interest. I was involved with a project of our church in Bolivia and in 1985, and then most recently Bonnie and I have traveled to Angola in West Africa, where our church is developing a relationship with our partner church in West Angola after their 27-year civil war. So although we have a wonderful family life in Northern California, we still have carried Callison's global perspective into what we've done and the life we've built together.
We have 2 sons, 23 and 27. And I got my master's in social work, and I'm a licensed clinical social work, and I work with staff in assisted living facilities in Northern California, and what I love the most about it is they're from all over the world. So I'm continuing to work with people of different cultures, and it's had a great impact on our lives. And we were talking this morning about how grateful we feel for our experience at Callison.
Oh yeah.
It's wonderful.
Thank you very much for taking a little time to spend with us and tell us your story.
Thank you.
And I hope you have a wonderful experience at this reunion.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.